Good morning and welcome to this regular board meeting of the Alameda County Lead Poisoning Prevention Program's Joint Powers Authority. Today is March 23rd, 2023, and the time is 9:36 a.m. I call this meeting to order. Members of the public who wish to participate can join us here at Emeryville City Hall, 1333 Park Avenue, the Alameda County Board of Supervisors Conference Room at 1221 Oak Street at Suite 536 in Oakland, or by joining us remotely by Zoom or teleconference with the numbers and links provided on the agenda. This time I'll ask if the secretary for the board would call the roll.
Director Hardy? Here. Director Miley?
Supervisor Miley is not participating, but we are ensuring Brown Act compliance.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Supervisor Miley is not participating today, but we have set up a conference room at 1221 Oak Street to ensure Brown Act compliance.
Okay, thank you. Director Bella? Here. Director Winrup? Winrup absent. Director Gallo? Alternate Gilchrist?
Present.
Director Bowders?
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum?
Okay, and just for clarity, does Mr. Miley have an alternate?
Not that I'm aware
Okay, so for the benefit of the staff at the County Board of Supervisors, Director Miley can appoint an alternate who can be present at these meetings. If he hasn't done that, please get in touch with the JPA staff so that in the future, if he's not able to attend the meeting, a member of his staff can be present as an alternate. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now is the time for public comment. A member of the public who wishes to comment for an item not on this meeting's agenda will have 2 minutes to do so. Are there any hands raised on the Zoom meeting?
of. No,
And are there any written comments that were received?
no written comment.
No members are present here to speak if public comment is now closed. We'll turn to the consent items. There are 2 consent items, 3.1 and 3.2 are the minutes from the meetings in January and February of this calendar year. Members, are there any questions, comments, or reasons to pull any item from the consent calendar? Seeing and hearing none, is there any public comment on the consent calendar?
No public comment.
Seeing and hearing none, comment is closed. Is there a motion on the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Gilchrist and a second by Bella to approve items 3.1 and 3.2. Please call the roll.
Director Hardy? Aye. Hardy, aye. Director Miley? Miley absent. Director Bella? Aye. Bella, aye. Director Winrup? Winrup absent. Director Gallo, alternate Gilchrist?
Aye.
Gilchrist, aye. Director Bowders?
Aye.
Bowders, aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. The minutes from the 2 meetings are approved. Item 4 is the director's report, and I'll welcome Dale Hagan to come and present. Good morning, Dale.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So good morning. I'm Dale Hagan. I'm the Assistant Deputy Director with the Healthy Homes Department, standing in for Larry Brooks, who was not able to be present today. He's presenting at the Women's Leaders in Code Enforcement Symposium in San Diego. Wanted to, let's see, Lisa, if you could share the home repairs flyer. Wanted to let the board know that we are starting a broad outreach for home repairs in Alameda County. This is in part to improve the outreach and participation in our programs, but it will also be providing referrals for other city, county, and nonprofit and other programs for home repairs. So we're putting out this on a broad effort. We'll take the calls in. We'll determine, what programs are suitable for the folks that call in, and either make the referrals or start the process of enrolling in our programs. The California Apartment Association and the Rural Housing Association have begun sharing our flyer on the rental minor home repair program. Although this is for the unincorporated area using ARPA funds, we hope that this will be also a step to building more contacts with rental housing providers in Alameda County, so we can promote the lead hazard control grants and the other CSA services that we have available. Moving on, just a brief update on the EPAs. And work here. Enhancing lead safe work practices through education and outreach initiative. We announced this last month. We have started meeting with the EPA as part of the EPA's environmental justice efforts to take a program that's developed with tribal communities to do lead outreach that is targeted and adapted to the community needs through participation with the community, and includes a train-the-trainer model to bring the community in and help them then to bring these messages out into, you know, their communities that they're working with. So we're pretty excited about that. We've been talking to the EPA Region 9 staff, and they are looking at, you know, potential projects in our area, and we're confident that Alameda County communities will be involved in that program. The work that we've done with Region 9 on training code enforcement officers, including the recent grant that we got from them for that purpose, has had some farther reaching impacts. Now it has become part of the national conversation with the regions, and other EPA regions are preparing and offering grants to train code enforcement officers. And so we think this is a very important development, because we believe the code enforcement can be a strong ally in terms of addressing lead hazards in housing. And we are moving forward with getting ready to provide some training in Alameda County for code enforcement officers as well. Next topic, the California Association of Code Enforcement Officers and the California Healthy Housing Coalition have been in contact with the department as subject matter experts on 2 bills related to preserving affordable housing. They are SB 356, which is the Code Enforcement and Incentive Grants, which provides grants to local code enforcement agencies to address locally identified needs so that they can increase their ability to address substandard housing conditions. And Assembly Bill 548, Healthy Housing Code Enforcement, which looks to have local departments develop policies in terms of addressing hazards in multifamily housing when there's a code complaint that may impact other units. And it provides for local ability to come up with what's the best plan for them. So we have fact sheets available on that, and if you're interested in terms of for your own jurisdictions, we have sample letters available. And that is the end of my director's report.
Okay, are there any public comments on the director's report?
No public comment?
Are there questions from members? Director Gilchrist?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, to the Chair, to the Director. For the training that you cited, that you were providing, just want to make sure I'm clear on the distinction when it's for staff of the county itself unincorporated, or is it also for jurisdictions that have code enforcement arms of their own?
So the training that we are planning will be available to code enforcement officers and building inspectors throughout the county. And we're using the EPA's one-day lead safe renovation, repair, and painting training as the model, with a lunchtime kind of code enforcement focus. So we're going to be doing some trainings in different jurisdictions. We'll have, we've partnered with a local training provider, so there will be some. The event will be held at their facility as well. So we're trying to make sure that it's available throughout Alameda County.
Thank you.
Just as a follow-up to that, oh, do you have a question? Sorry, Director Bell. Just as a follow-up to that, you said you're going to be doing, do you have a timeline for doing it?
I would like to complete the bulk of the trainings within the next 6 months.
Okay. Emeryville is about to get its first code enforcement officer in a long time. So I wanted to just make sure I kind of had an idea of when that training would happen, because I would like to have, as somebody, as a city that has a RRP rule of our own, right, and enforcement mechanism, I would just like to make sure they're part of whatever training. Okay. Director Bell.
I was just going to ask the question on what the timeline for the training was. So as we get that information, if you could share that out with our respective cities, I think that would be helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the other question that I had is on the bill that you mentioned, when is it scheduled for hearing, and do you know what committees it's going to? Either the code enforcement grant incentive grant program or the healthy housing. The healthy housing.
Healthy housing program, I don't have an update on what the legislative schedule for that is. Did he say, do you have any information on that?
What's the bill number?
That's AB 548.
No, 1 second, I can pull it. Are there other questions while I'm pulling that up? I do have another question, which is on the other bill. The grants, does it say how much money it is?
I did this house.
Director Gilbert?
And through the chair, if you could also name the bill again, I just want to make sure I'm
Okay.
keeping a good pen here.
So that's Senate Bill 356, Code Enforcement Incentive Grant Program. And I am sorry, I do not have the grant amount available.
But you said the grants are available to cities to do what specifically?
So these would be grants that would be available to local code enforcement departments to address gaps that they have in terms of addressing code enforcement issues in their community. And so,
Does that include staffing?
I don't believe that well, I shouldn't say that. My sense was that the examples that I saw from the previous program were more around equipment, supplies, and getting set, but I can't answer the question on staffing.
Director Gilchrist?
Thank you, Chair. Again, to the Chair, to the Director. Along that line, then I would infer that if the appropriation is one term or one time, whatever that limit may be, that it may be leaning more towards equipment or materials or things that are expended, to sort of capitalize this type of program. But that's something that the legislation would speak to specifically, I would imagine. We could follow up on that to see what the case is. I mean, we could do that ourselves as well.
Yeah, so reading from the fact sheet that I have here, based on the program, says specifically the bill makes cost of living adjustments to award sizes, simplifies matching fund requirements, incentivizes the certification of code enforcement officers, and expands partnerships to community-based organizations. So let's see. The funding was restored, including strong demand for resources to support training, improve technology, and safety equipment. So it sounds like that's kind of the scope of that.
Got it. Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome. As a follow-up to the question from Director Bell, Assembly Bill 548 was referred to the Assembly Committee on Housing and Community Development. It's not had any bill analysis done. It's not been set for a hearing date. Its 31st day in print was March 11th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any additional questions for staff on the director's report? Okay, seeing none, do we have any questions online from the Board of Supervisors?
No, we do not.
Okay. That will conclude the director's report. Item 5 is the monthly report.
So you have the monthly report. There's a couple of things that we were not able to include in the original packet. Just want to add to the report that we had 18 lead poisoning outreach and education mailings sent out, which one was included in Alameda and the other one was in Oakland. We also had 3 lead poison child cases and also a total of 4 case management, lead poisoning prevention, case management for lead poison children. That was the total that we did not include in the monthly report.
Is there any public comment on the monthly report? Seeing and hearing none, I have a question for the monthly report. The 3 lead poison child cases, where are those situated in the county?
That was in Dublin, Hayward, and Union City. That was, let's see. So the lower case levels are when we send out the mailings regard to the families, and we have a total of 18 for the month. The next level up with the lead poison children, which they receive services from our community outreach workers, and they communicate with the family. That was 3 for the month. And the nursing case management, we had a total of 4. And that is when they usually get a visit from the public health nurse. That's like at the higher level, level. And the case management cases were 3 in Fremont and 1 in Hayward.
And in the cases, in Fremont that required, are those all in one household or are those in separate households?
Separate.
Is there a common reason why the children are poisoned, or is it?
That information I do not have at this time, but I can get that information to you.
Yeah, I'd like to ask that when we do the report and it relates to poisoning cases, we obviously want to protect the identity of the people who are, you know, for health reasons and privacy reasons, but I think just knowing why or what if we do know the source of the poisoning, right? Because we've previously done information to the Afghan community and other groups which are common in Hayward and Fremont who have traditional spices and other, you know, jewelry and other things they use or they import from, you know, countries they've immigrated from that have lead in them. And so we've previously done notices, pamphlets, mailers, education that's in targeted parts of ethnic minority communities that have higher prevalence with that. So just knowing if this was, you know, a single household kind of thing, so it's a paint situation, or if it's like a bunch of kids in the same community who are from an ethnic minority, I think would be really helpful in terms of ensuring that the monthly outreach we do, all those events we do are really targeted at the right folks. So I want to make that link and not just here, we've done X reports. I would love to know where the kids who are getting poisoned are and whether or not we're doing outreach in those communities particularly.
Okay.
Treasurer Gilchrist?
No, not that you need it, but I would endorse that wholeheartedly. I appreciate that. I think it's also good information for us just on correlating what efforts we have in terms of enforcement, code enforcement, and where we may define new programs over time, just to have that sort of correlation between what's being found, where we're looking, what we're looking for, and where the causalities may be, that it's good information to move that. Thank you.
Yeah. Others with questions or comments? Director Bellis?
If we could just get an update, an update at the next meeting, if we do get that, and I know that sometimes it takes a while to investigate and find the underlying cause, but I guess whenever we do get that, especially if it's not at the next meeting, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
We're about to break into a Baby Shark song over here.
That concludes the monthly report.
That concludes, any other questions on the monthly report? No? Okay. Future agenda items, are there any directors who have a future agenda item request? No, are there any announcements by members of the board of directors? I have one, which is, this is Women's Month, and I just want to appreciate all the women on our staff at the board and at the agency, and I want to appreciate Director Zvella, Director Wingraff, and especially Director Hardy for all of your years of service to this agency and to the public. Just want to take a moment to recognize that women are the reason why shit gets done. Director Gilchrist.
And if I may also join the chair in that recognition and endorsement, I appreciate that.
Of course, thank you. Okay, seeing and hearing no other comments, the time, Madam Clerk, is 9:00.